Hey guys, what's up? It's Eli with Night Jiu-Jitsu and Aperture, and I wanted to show something by request today. I had somebody asking about back mount escapes. I was going to show some different escapes from different options about different points in time. You know, if you can be early, then be early. But obviously you got back mounted, so you made some mistakes to get there. So how far into it you are is going to determine the kind of escape that you're even able to use at the time. So I want to show some things that I think are good ideas and maybe mention some things that I don't think are great ideas. So a lot of escapes that I see happen from here, and this does happen, but it's a little less common, I think. So whenever we're working on back mount escapes and we start from this sitting up position like this, then we don't typically stay here for very long. So I'll show a couple from here, but again, this is very early and this is kind of a snapshot in time. So the first thing that I would want to do if I was able to stay seated like this is I don't want him to be able to get his hands around me at all. If I stay forward like this, then it's going to make it difficult for him to get a hold of me and pull me back. To even help anchor myself more, I can grab onto his feet like this, right? So I can keep myself forward here, and then as he's trying to pull and everything like that, when I feel like the timing is appropriate, then I'm just going to take his 2 feet and I'm going to pull them up and apart off of me and shoot my hips forward this way. So it's kind of like shoot myself here forward, and then I'm going to turn back and face, and so now we're in a scramble. We're at an even position. Again, getting to an even position from such a bad position is a big upgrade. When you keep in mind that anything that you do from back mount, any position you get to out of that is pretty much an upgrade as long as you're not caught in a submission. So again, here, like this, if I can be early on this one here, I just stay leaning forward, I hold onto his feet so he's having trouble getting me like this, and then I pull the feet up and open, I scoop myself forward, and then I turn and I scramble and face back. If I was a little bit later and maybe I'm defending here, so a good idea, I think, you can go different kind of configurations about how you want to defend, but the biggest thing is that you seal the space and you keep your chin tucked. So I like to do the crossed hands here with my chin down like this, right? So whenever we get here, even if he is kind of fishing around me like this, I still consider this a fairly early escape. And if you watch what I do here, and my legs are open, if I turn my knees up, look what it does to his feet, how it raises his feet up like this. Once his feet are raised here, then I'm going to dig my heels in, I'm going to scoop my butt toward my heels this way, right? And once I scoot like that, now there's a lot of tension here. If I just straighten my leg, his leg tends to come off like that. Once I remove that hook, I turn and face this hook over here, drop my elbow to the inside, and he almost always has to post on this arm, so I'm already reaching for that arm as I turn over like this to grab, and then I'm going to drive my head in so I can get kind of to a side control and already be past his legs. Again, that's kind of wishful thinking. If I am able to spin around and turn, face him, I'm over his leg, I'm already working into the guard past the side control, that's fantastic. But even if I turn around and I get caught in half guard or even full guard, I've still upgraded quite a bit, right? I keep in like this because he already has pulled me back a little bit. I turn my knees up so his feet float a little bit. I scoop my butt toward my heels. I get that leg off of me, bring this one back up, turn around, face, grab the arm, drive my head in, and reposition out, trying to go to side control from there. So if I do have trouble here like this, once I get this one removed, and this leg, I don't feel like I can get underneath it, if this is sticking out far enough, I can use this foot here to help pick it up like this, and then with both arms come underneath, I turn and I can pass that leg like that. Okay? So one more time on this one. This is for whenever I have enough of this leg sticking out. After this one here, so I'm guarding, I scoot forward, I remove the first hook, I pull my foot in underneath his ankle, I'm gonna lift that up, dive both my hands underneath his leg, and then I'm gonna shoot this one like I'm swimming here, so that I already go into the pass, like that. Okay? So that one's a little opportunistic if I see the leg sticking out like that and I can pull my foot underneath there like that. It's just something that if I'm ready for it, it makes for a nice built-in pass at the end of the escape. Let's go a little bit later into this though, because what's a little more likely to happen if he was good enough to get on my back and I made enough mistakes to get him there, and he establishes the seat belt like this here, right? Then this is kind of difficult. So I know he wants to pull me one side or the other. Right? So if I'm ready for that, then I can prepare as he's pulling me to that side. So if he pulls me to this side, the choke is ready to go. If he pulls me to this side over here, he has a little bit of work to do. So let's first go to the underhook side. If we go to the underhook side here, I want to address the top arm, the choking arm here, and I want to keep this one clamped down, heavy on his arm like that. Now, as long as we stay with our hips lined up like this, then he's going to be able to control pretty well. He's got a strong bottom hook, and that's the most important hook for him. Not the top hook, but the bottom hook. Okay, working together, they're both important, but this one's the more important one here. So I want to keep this hand pulled down like this, attached to me, my chin is tucked the whole time, and then I want to pull my leg back a little bit here and start to rotate my hips out and thereby kind of diminish that hook there. Once there, here, I'm really concentrating most of my work on sitting on that bottom hook like this until finally I can scrape my hips over this way here. And then look, from here, me trying to pull his hands apart is not always the easiest thing in the world, but I know that if he wants to try to choke me or anything from here, it's gonna be kind of a chore for him. So I'm gonna pull here to create some tension, and whenever I release the tension, I'm gonna put my hand inside here like this to be able to kind of work myself out like that, and then finally turn and face him. I'm not gonna try to get too ambitious about scrambling up to the top because that might get me swept and remounted. I'm gonna try to avoid the remount if I can, and if he tries to get back on top of me, I'm gonna take my outside leg and hook it underneath his, so that's gonna make it pretty difficult for him to get any kind of clean position when he comes up to the top. One more time to go through that one. We get here, I want to pull that top hand. If I pull the top hand down, I'm already killing the bottom hand too. I want to clamp down on the elbow. I want to drive over to the side here, pushing myself toward the floor. And then look, I retract my foot a little bit here like this so I can start stepping out, getting my hips over that here. This way I pull some tension down on the hands here, and then I come up to try to get the hands apart. Right here, this makes it very awkward for his grip. So then I start working my hands inside this way. Then all my concentration goes on hooking his top leg here with my top leg on the outside. Now, if particularly with no gi, without the gi here, so he doesn't have the grips, and that creates some different options for him, so that's a different discussion for a different time. But what he typically wants to do here, no gi, is take me to the side where his arm is already available for like the rear naked choke. So if that's the case here, then I'm gonna pull here like this, and as we go to drive to this side, I can also reach across here this way, so I put all the weight on this arm, so there's no way he's gonna choke me with that bottom arm the one that he needs to. So he's gonna have to readjust his grip. So I can wait for it, or I can maybe force it. But if I feel a looseness in his connection here, then I'm gonna go down here like this. I wanna get a baseball grip on the, baseball bat grip on the wrist here like this. And then I wanna start walking out here, take this to the other side of me here, act like I'm gonna break it across my neck here, but I'm not going to, that's weird. And then I start walking my way out again until I'm sideways like this. So I change the angle, I'm not lined up with him any longer, I'm perpendicular to him. Once this is over here, I don't need to concentrate as much on this arm any longer. I can go down and concentrate here, this way. And again, I'm hooking the leg here, right? I'm not getting like too overly ambitious about jumping up to the top position, just preventing him from getting on top. Down here, after if he got the seatbelt established, and then if I feel him start to pull me this way, then I'm gonna cup that elbow here like this, right? I wanna try not to let him pull me back too much. I wanna try to make it more lateral. And so we get dropped to the ground here like this. And then I find whenever the connection is loose, because he opens that grip, then I wanna get a 2-on-1 on the wrist here like this. And I wanna pull this out across me and keep it here in front of me like this as I use that to help my shoulders rotate, then my hips rotate, and now I can concentrate all my efforts on shoulder walking back, block this here. So if he wants to try to get up to the top right now, that's gonna make it difficult for him. And I actually turn it into almost like a little butterfly sweep if I'm lucky. Again, guys, it really depends. I'm late in the game, I'm in a very bad position, but it depends on like how late in the game that I am. You know, so if he doesn't have the seatbelt established, or if he doesn't have me stretch back, or he doesn't have me pulled to the side, whatever the case is, it changes what my options are, right? So anyway, let me know what you think about those, and if you have any other questions about back mount escapes, or about the gi, or about any other positions, then let me know that too. I appreciate you guys watching. Keep watching Night Jiu-Jitsu and Aperture. Thanks a lot.